Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Carolina M. Lasambouw with my colleagues Ediana Suchirajeki and Neneng Nuryati. We would like to present our paper entitled Excellence Ethnic Characters in Strengthening the Country National Value Identity and Experience of Indonesia. The background of our research is that Indonesia is a rich cultural country contributed by 1,340 tribes, which classified into 633 ethnic groups. This data is based on a population census undertaken in the year of 2020. So the other thing is that the important role of character education in strengthening generation set and the post-generation set on national values identity. The generation set is the population that currently at the age of 23 and below, while the post-generation set is at the age of 7 and below. This paper aims to describe research findings on the prominent generic characters of 10 ethnic groups of the larger Indonesian population to strengthen Indonesian national identity. Based on the literature review, we find out that the value of a country national identity lay in the basic description of the country, the fundamental conception of the state and the ideals of each nation state have their characteristic arising from the historical setting, socio-cultural condition, and the shared values and dreams of the nation concerned. The formation of identity depends on the intricate process of self-recognition. In Indonesia, the values of state identity are inside the 5 fundamental principles known as Pancasila. As the basis of the state, the 5 fundamental principles become the source of all sorts of state law. The fundamental norm is the highest norm that underlies the unity of the system in an orderly society. So Indonesian characteristic as a nation state in its vastness, breadth, and diversity. As I already mentioned before, that high contribution of the 1,340 ethnic excellence characters, which is grouped into 633 ethnic groups in Indonesia, is very potential to support the achievement of the country ideals. A multicultural society that respects cultural differences creates a society with the same views, souls and goals. However, in this era of globalization, the noble values of the 5 fundamental principles continue to experience degradation, especially among the younger generation or among students. Also, the condition between recognizing the ability of higher education graduates to master their field of expertise, but without having the excellence characters. Our research method is qualitative exploratory methods. It starts with a literature review and deep study on the main custom and taboo applied in its tribes. Then we interview more than 30 participants purposely selected. They are people who understand the custom and taboo that the tribe's ethnicity strong beliefs. Then a list of prominent ethnic characters is compiled. The data were processed and tabulated according to the ethnics, then described in details. This table shows the findings, identification of excellence characters. So you can see that if each tribes have their own characters, and if we compare one tribe with the other tribe's characters, we can see that yes, there are so many different characters, but also we can see there is the similar characters that exist in several tribes. So for the similar characters, we collect it and we call it as a collective identity characters. And at the end, we uh, describe it as generic characters. So how to link the ethnic characters and national value identity? In this framework, we put the national character value based on the 5 fundamental principles at the end as our target. And then to strengthen the national characters, so we try to identify what is the generic character based on the excellence technique. So we find out that at least there are 10 generic characters. For example, religious, honest, courageous, sincere, faithful, migrant, collaborative, firm, resilient, friendly, and several others characters. So where we obtain these characters is from the excellent character of each ethnicity. So I already show with you with the 2 tables priorly. Each character have their own uh, excellence character, but for the same character we take that as a generic collective character. So we hope that when we share with the students um, in the during the teaching, when we teach them, we can um, uh, share with them about the how the tribes using that characters in their tribes. So by doing that, we believe that the student have the real pictures about how each character implemented in the tribes. So as a conclusion, each tribe we know that each tribe has a prominent character as the identity of the community. So means that if we can manage excellence character of uh, the ethnic groups in Indonesia, it will become potential to strengthen Indonesian national identity. The other thing is that practical experience in applying national identity values based on excellent ethnic characters become essential to provide an objective picture rather than an abstract pictures. And we believe that practical learning will provide a pleasant learning experience to the students. But we also acknowledge that there is a constraint. Among the constraints is the process of cultivating values may take a long time. And the other constraint is reluctant of students to get out of their cocoons because they are more familiar and with their own tribe's characters. And also reluctant of the student to learning goodness from other tribes. Um, that is the conclusion, and this is the reference, that several reference, because we cannot put all the reference, so we just select several references to share with you. That's all that I can share with you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.